Makes you wanna go. Makes you wanna go. Na 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 na. Makes you wanna go.
Hey, everyone. How is everybody today? Yay!
That was some kind of intro. I love it.
I love it too. Thank you. That's what Mickey G says every time. Everybody, my co-host is unavailable today, and we have a special co-host. Her name is Gigi Stan, sitting in for Mickey G. Thank you, Gigi, for coming in and stepping in today. I appreciate it. Okay.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching Gab with Goldn Bronze today. We do appreciate that you chose to pick us to watch today. We realize that you could have picked any network and any channel, but you tuned in to Gab with Goldn Bronze to see what we're gabbing about, and we really, really do appreciate that today. Well, we're going to get right into it. We have a very special lady with us today, Miss Colleen Franklin. Colleen, I'm going to read your bio and then get back to you. Coleen is better known as Lena-Colleen. She is an award-winning screenwriter with a diverse and dynamic background in the arts and military service. Born in Jamaica Queens, New York, and now residing in Johns Creek, Georgia. Colleen's early creative journeys began with ballet, jazz, tap, and African culture dance, eventually leading to her starring role in the 6th grade play Oklahoma. In addition to her artistic pursuits, she was also an accomplished athlete, excelling in track and volleyball. In 1986, Coleen joined the U.S. Army, serving both domestically in El Paso, Texas, and internationally in Landstuhl, Germany. I hope I said that right.
You did.
Okay. Her 8-year military career, 4 which were active and 4 which were inactive, shaped her resilience and work ethic. At the age of 19, she married, and at 20, she welcomed her first child, Ashley, into the world. After living in Orlando, Florida for a decade, Coleen returned to New York, but the events of 9/11 had a profound impact on her, leaving her with PTSD, and she then left Manhattan and in the process discovered her love for writing. And we'll get into a little more of Coleen and her background, but we want to thank Lena-Colleen for joining us today on Gab with Goldn Bronze.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I'm so grateful.
Well, we're very excited to have you here and do appreciate your taking time to come. So my first question for you is, tell us what encouraged you to start writing your manuscript Camouflage and what that chronicles and how it became a screenplay.
Well, it's not a screenplay yet, but what started it was, what prompted it was my military experience. Without telling too much about it, it was something.
You can tell as much as you like. I mean,
I can tell as much.
Yes,
as much as I like.
Yeah, you have time.
So I have a healthy, I would say, distrust of the military, but it's because, and don't get me wrong, I would do it all over again. Mm-hmm. But the things that I experienced as not just a Black person, but a Black woman was just unthinkable, just some of the things that I experienced. And I believe that it's that way because that's just the military hierarchy. You have men and then you have women. That's just the way it is. And I believe that it's still that way today. So there were so many things that I experienced that I just wouldn't wish on my worst enemy.
It seems like that's the way they're trying to make the culture in the world now, in the United States.
Exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely correct. Mm-hmm. And I see it. You know what I mean? Someone that has experienced it, I see it going in that direction. And I'm not going to say I'm fearful because, God is in control. So
Mhm.
I'm not fearful. But it's concerning,
Right.
it is very concerning because not everybody has God in their life. So, you know, they're gonna have anxiety. They're gonna be fearful. These children, they're like, what's going on? It hurts my heart that they have to even see half the things that they've seen in the
Right.
it's so scary. But yeah, so I experienced sexual assault.
Mm.
Um, I'm not going to get into details, of course, but it happened twice. And it wasn't even a thought to report it because I already knew what that was going to come out to be. I knew what was going to happen. It was going to fall on deaf ears. When you first get into the military as a female, now this was in the 80s. The first thing you hear is, "What are you doing here? Why are you here? Are you gay? Why?" These are the things that you get. So I joined because I just wanted to get money for college.
Yes.
Mm.
You know, it was very innocent the way I came in. I never, wanted to retire, but as a Black American, African American, we love this country. So
Yes.
whatever I had to do, I was going to do. Thank God that I didn't have to go to war, but still, I served my country overseas in the United States the way I was supposed to. In the process, though, I got married and had a child.
Yes.
And the difficult part about that was I was separated from them for a year, twice.
Wow. Well, Colleen, I want to thank you for your service. Um,
Oh, you're welcome.
I have come from a military family. My father, all his brothers, their sons, my brother, I have female cousins um, that all joined the military. And I actually wanted to. And my dad was like, he knew something that you didn't know. He's like, nope, you're not doing that. And I was like perplexed. Everybody else is doing it, but I'm his
Mm.
his child, and so he protected me from what you experienced probably, and I didn't realize that's what he was doing at that time. But I want to say we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. So thank you everyone for rejoining us. Um, Gigi, would you like to expound on anything?
Well, I know you said you wanted to go into the military to pay for your education. Um, I was wondering if you had had any family in the military, anybody to tell you what the military would be like for a woman.
I didn't listen.
Ah, okay.
That's
Kind of like
what
what
it
I
boils
said, my
down to.
dad's. They
I
tried
did.
to
I
tell
did.
her. Yeah.
I didn't listen. Now I had an uncle that was in the Air Force, and he wanted me to join the Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
But I ended up joining the Army instead. But that's because I wanted to do it on my own.
Mhm.
So, with that being said, anything that I experienced, I can say that sure, I was traumatized from it initially, but after a while, it was like, well, this is a choice that you made.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
I dealt with it. I had counseling. I went to counseling, but I have to say
Mm-hmm.
this: this is going to be the first time that most people who know me are going to know this.
Wow.
That's so we're looking forward to Camouflage coming out so we can see it. Um,
It's a work in progress.
okay. So tell us what other films you've contributed to.
So I've contributed to several films in different capacities. As a script supervisor, which is someone that actually um, looks after the continuity of scripts, because
Mm-hmm.
when films are being shot, they're not shot in order of scene. You
Mm-hmm.
might film the last scene first. So in that capacity, I've been on set with um, a director named Coke Daniels. He's moving up in Hollywood now on a set called His, Hers, and the Truth. Ashley McDaniel. I'm over here dropping names, and I don't usually do that, but
That's okay.
I have to acknowledge them.
That's fine.
Ashley MacArthur. I was about to say McDaniels. Ashley MacArthur. She had a web series called Side Chick. It's not what you think, but it was really good. Uh, Essence Magazine named it like one of the top web series in that year. So I was a script supervisor on that as well. But also, I have competed in the 48-hour film festival where you have to write, direct, and actually produce a film in 2 days.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I have several films that I've actually helped write. So I've helped co-write at least 4 of those. So I did that 4 times. Can you imagine 4 times?
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was fun. I mean, if this is something that you want to do, then something like that will solidify that. I was like,
Yes.
oh, okay, this is really what I want to do. I feel at home doing this. So,
Yes.
and those are on YouTube. I know I'm forgetting some stuff, but I haven't contributed to anything that is mainstream. Well, those films that I just said are mainstream, but I mean, like any big blockbuster films, only because I'm an independent filmmaker, and that's just by choice.
I mean, I've heard of Side Chicks, and I actually think I watched a couple of the series um, because that sounds very familiar. If you want to tell
Probably
people
did.
where they can see anything that you've written, you can. Or did you just do that? Was that what you just did?
So those are the ones that I did as a script supervisor. I know that they're both on Prime.
Mhm.
His, Hers, and the Truth, and Side Chick. I believe Side Chick is on Prime, and then the ones for the 48-hour film are on. I'm trying to think. It's Eyes Entertainment on YouTube. Eyes,
Okay.
EYES Entertainment on YouTube,
Okay.
and you'll see them. It'll say 48-hour films, and then it'll give the name of the films. It's 4 of them. So yeah, you'll see that.
Okay. Cool beans.
Yep. Yep.
So I have a question I'd like to ask you. Do you think that your passion for film came from your pain that you experienced in the military?
That's a good question. I don't know if the passion I always had it. I always had the passion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it came from the pain from the military. That's a good question. I, you know what? Maybe it did. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I never, thought about it in that way.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible. It's possible that it did, but I feel like the passion for writing and film is just something I was born with. I think it was something that I came out with. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think. Yeah, maybe I would say maybe that made me want to do better,
Okay.
to excel. I would say
Mm-hmm.
maybe to excel, but it wasn't born out of it. I don't think. No,
Okay.
I don't think so. No, no. And you know what? Honestly, I can't even say that I experienced pain.
We'll be right back. Actually, we will talk a little longer. I'm sorry, everybody.
No, it's
Go
okay.
right ahead. What you were saying there.
No, I was saying that I didn't. I won't say that I actually experienced pain. I just kind of accepted that I made the choice to join the military, and I just lived with what came with that, because I
Mm-hmm.
experienced racism. I experienced racism
Mm-hmm.
as well, wasn't just that. It was almost commonplace for those type of things to happen, and
Right.
nobody say anything about it, which is sad. And I'm sad to say that I fell in line, but I was 19 years old. and I fell in line.
Baby. A
Literally,
baby.
I
Yeah, a
fell in
baby.
line.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
yep, sure did.
So, Lena-Colleen,
Yes,
basically, you know that we advocate against domestic violence towards women. And
yes.
when um, we decided to have you on the show, I had no clue that you have experienced that, because domestic violence is not just inter-partner relationships, it's any kind of abuse towards an individual, you know.
Yes.
So
Mm-hmm.
I'm really sorry to hear that you had to go through all of that. Have you ever thought about any advocacy for veterans that experience that sort of thing like yourself? Now, for real, this time, we will be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we had to take a quick break, but let me re-ask Lena-Colleen the question. I wasn't aware that she was a survivor. She's actually a thriver of domestic abuse when I asked her to come to the show. So my question is, have you ever thought of being some sort of advocate for women in the military that may experience what you have gone through?
I'll say that I've thought about being an advocate for women in general because,
Mm-hmm.
as weird as it sounds, I can't find anybody that I serve with. And I think that a lot
Wow.
of women just kind of bury their head in the sand and they don't want to talk about their experiences. It's I don't know maybe one or two people that I'm in contact with. Everybody else, I can't find them on Facebook. I can't find them on the military sites. I've looked, trust me, I have.
Okay.
Just to see if anybody experienced those things, you don't talk about it.
Wow.
So I'm almost
Wow.
positive there were others. So advocating for women in the military, not so much, but just women in general, yes. And
Okay, well, you're on the right
yes,
platform. You're on the right platform for that. But I was going to
right.
tell you, it could probably help you if you wanted to pursue that avenue. But I want to interject another quick question to kind of
Sure.
get back onto track about you and your
Hmm.
Filmmakers Lab. Tell us what the Echo magazine is all about.
That's my newest venture. I got back in contact with a childhood friend, and in doing so, I was introduced to Echo magazine. It is an event design magazine. And I wanted to contribute, but you think event design, film, how does that work? And I'm a writer, so I feel like I can write on anything. I don't That's just how I feel. I don't know if that's true, but I feel like I can write on anything. So, what I did was I did contribute, as you can see, it's behind me. I did
Mhm.
contribute to this issue, this fall issue. And what I did was I incorporated how you can use film cinematography and in event design, and it's a pretty cool article that I wrote. So yeah, that's how I got introduced to it. And anything that has to do with writing, if I can put my hands in it, I'm putting my hands in it. So that's what happened.
So is that a magazine that we can all purchase somewhere?
Yes, you can. I don't. It's not on a specific website, but if you go to Echo underscore MGZN, you can click on the link to take you to the magazine. They have two issues out.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. I wasn't ready for that, but I know I got that right. So
Good.
yeah, Echo underscore MGZN,
Thank you so much
and you
for
can
that.
find it. Sure, no problem. And it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool magazine because it's the theme of it is celebration and collaboration. So celebrating entrepreneurs and people that are doing their thing, and collaborating. So we all collaborate on social media. We all push each other. We
Mm-hmm.
all collaborate with each other, and it has brought me to opportunity has put opportunities in front of me that I wouldn't necessarily have.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, it's a pretty cool magazine. I love it.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Sure.
Well, I'm not sure if I have another question for you right now. I'm just listening to you. I love the way you speak. You have a beautiful speaking voice and a beautiful interviewing voice. So, oh, can you
Thank
hear me?
you.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I can hear
So,
you.
okay,
Okay.
yeah, you have a beautiful voice, and I'm just sitting there listening to. Do you sing?
In my head,
Oh, okay. I was just wondering if you sing because you have a beautiful
you
voice.
know, I've actually tried it just, in private
Mm-hmm.
on my I love to sing, but I
That's
wouldn't
good.
say that I wouldn't say that I'm a singer, no.
Oh, okay.
Somebody else might, but I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
But I'm a
'Cause-
podcaster. I also have a podcast.
oh, well, tell us a little bit about that.
So my podcast is called Filmmakers Lab Live. It started off as just Filmmakers Lab. We changed it to Filmmakers Lab Live because, I did a pivot and I added a co-host who is my cousin who is also a filmmaker. And it basically educates aspiring young and maybe not so young filmmakers to go after their dreams. I
Mm,
have all different facets of filmmaking on the show. I have directors, writers, uh, lighting people. I had a composer on, and these are people that I've met just over the years being on set, and just having them come on. And no, there's no gatekeeping. If I'm asking you the questions, you better answer the
mm-hmm.
question. Don't give that roundabout. Well, no,
Right.
these kids need to
Direct.
know.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, and a lot of people don't have the money to afford to be able to, go to filmmaking school. It's expensive. I haven't gone. I'm self-taught. So
Right.
yeah, that's what Filmmakers Lab is all about. And then, in between we have some fun. We do reviews of movies and things like that. Movies that maybe are not as blockbuster or written as well. And then we kind of give like constructive criticism on how
Mm-hmm.
that person can actually do better. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's what Filmmakers Lab Live is all about. And I want to congratulate you, Golden, on becoming a show because that's my dream. I would love to become a show. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, that
Well,
was
that's
actually my going to be my closeout question. So Gigi kind of jumped ahead of me on that. I wanted you to explain to everybody what the Filmmakers Lab was, since that's what the podcast is about. But let me just
Yes,
ask you this.
sure.
Um, it's kind of like a podcast where people that want to be filmmakers come and learn from those that already are, correct?
I mean, we just have the guests on. The people watch. Yeah, of course, definitely. Yes, they come to get the knowledge that they wouldn't necessarily be able to afford going to school, or it's kind of like a mentor
mm-hmm.
right in your face in the moment type of situation. So the information that we're putting out is information that you wouldn't necessarily hear.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I will be right back. Okay. 1 moment.
sure.
All right, everyone. Thank you for rejoining us. We appreciate it. So, we were talking about the Echo magazine. We'll just move on a little bit. Tell us what an indie film is. That you're working on an indie film script um, project right now. Tell us about that a little bit.
An independent film is just outside of the big studios. It's making your own film, coming out your own pocket, paying, doing all of the footwork, getting the locations. You can get people that are not independent people to do those things for you, but as a company, you're doing everything independently. You're not
Mm-hmm.
using a Sony or a Warner Brothers you're doing everything on your own. It's difficult. It is extremely difficult, and I wouldn't recommend it. But I do it because in the capacity that I am a filmmaker, I'm a writer. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to wait for someone to tell me when to write. I can write whenever.
Mm-hmm.
No one has any control over that. What I write, when I write, where I write, I can do that whenever. Now, once you start putting the film together, if you're an independent person, you're doing all the legwork. You're
Mm-hmm.
producing it. You have to find a director. Now, it might be a director that's known, but you're
Mhm.
still independent. You're not using the big houses to help you. You
Right.
know, they're the ones that do all that work. So that's the difference. You're doing all the work.
And so I appreciate that explanation because guess what? I thought an indie film was a type of a movie or something because I'm not in the
I
filmmakers
got you.
uh, arena, right?
That's
So,
understandable. Yeah.
so the fact that you went into detail, I appreciate that because I didn't realize it was an acronym for independent. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yes.
me either.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, thank
That's
you.
what it is. Sure. And it's funny that in saying that, I would never think that someone wouldn't know. And it's not because I feel like you should know, but it's just, it's a word that we use a lot in the industry.
And
Mm.
So,
and if you're not in the
I would,
industry, you don't. It's not
You
familiar
wouldn't
to
know
you.
it. Yeah.
Right. Thank
yeah,
Yeah.
you.
you're right. No, that's good because I'm glad you said that to me because now I know it's like, okay, when I'm talking, I probably have to explain a lot more than I realize.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Or not use the acronym. I mean, for people
I
that
could just
are
say
in your
independent.
business.
You're right.
Yeah,
Right.
I would have
Mm-hmm.
known then and I probably asked that question. But I appreciate it because now
I'm
I know I'm not the
sorry.
only one. I'm not, no, do not apologize. I am not the only one that doesn't know what an indie
I didn't
film
know,
is. Right. So
Okay.
and
you
I've
have just
watched them.
explained to 300 some million people what it means. So
They know now.
yes.
And there's a lot of them. There's a lot
Right.
that are not, dependent on, these big production companies.
Right.
Mhm.
A lot. The whole Tubi network is probably
Mm-hmm.
films that were done by people that had to come out of their pocket and do
Mm-hmm.
all the footwork.
Wow.
And those are the
Mm-hmm.
people that I deal with every day. Like those are the people that I deal with every day. And it's by choice. I
Yes.
could have moved. I've lived in California. I've lived in North Hollywood, but it's just not my thing. It's not my cup of tea. I'm from New
Yes.
Right.
York.
Yes.
Right.
I'm not a surface kind of person. So
Right.
yeah, it was a conscious decision to be
Okay.
independent.
Takes a lot
Okay.
of bravery too. So
Yes, ma'am.
yes.
That's an understatement.
Yeah.
Well,
You have
she
to have a
has it.
lot of support.
Yes. I can
Yes.
imagine.
And I think earlier you had mentioned having God. So without him, you can't really do much of anything. So you know
Nothing.
that you have him because he's brought you to where you are now.
That is so true. You just gave me chills.
Oh.
Yeah, you just gave
Um.
me chills because this is true. I'm a renewed Christian. I'll say that because I've
Mm-hmm.
always been one as far as I'm concerned. I feel like I was born one,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm renewed
We all are every day. So
for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
So I do have one more other question.
Yes.
Do you ever take your program into any of the schools, or to any of the after school programs for teenagers?
It's been something that I wanted to do. I just
Mm-hmm.
haven't had the opportunity to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do is, and I just started doing this, and I find it very rewarding. Is I do Zoom classes to
Oh,
the libraries in New York.
mm, mm,
Yeah.
very
So
good.
I'm getting young people, old people, from all walks of life, and I've been told that I have a teaching spirit, and I
Mm,
just had to lean into it because I never really thought I did, but I love it. I love it.
that's
So
wonderful.
yeah, that's something on the horizon
Great.
For sure. Hmm.
So I see that you are actively involved in several film projects with the Urban Artistic Media Group and Hologram Productions. Can you elaborate a little bit on that for us?
I can. They're independent also, independent film companies. Urban Artistic is out of New York, and I've done two films. So I do have other films. That's why I said I know I'm forgetting something. I do have two films that I helped them write. They're currently on the film festival circuit, so you can't
Mhm.
see them. You will be able to see them, but I'm a head writer on that, and I mentor younger writers in a
Mhm.
writer's room in a Zoom setting. Technology is amazing, okay? Because
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
I can I can zoom to somebody in Kathmandu somewhere and give them that knowledge. So that's what I do with Urban Artistic. Now Hologram Films, I'm a staff writer. I assist the head writer with her films. And she comes up with the ideas, and I just kind of help her flush out her ideas,
Mhm.
make them more succinct, make them more cohesive,
Mhm.
and I help her as far as marketing her films, because even though she's independent, she wants to have a film house help her. She wants to have a production company help
Wow.
her make her films. So
Mhm.
I'm in it, but I'm not, you
Mhm.
know. So yeah, that's what I do for those two companies, and
That's
that's part of
awesome.
Filmmakers Lab.
It is.
That is so awesome. Okay, well, we will take a quick break, everybody, and we will be right back. All right, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. We're back.
Well, Miss Lena-Colleen, I just have one more question. You have an interesting name. So you have Lena-Colleen. Could you tell me where Lena came from?
I knew someone was going to ask that. It's a childhood name. A friend of mine started calling me Lena, and it just stuck. But what ended up happening with that name, as it is now, Lena-Colleen, I was working on a set, and the person that pays us asked me what did I want my check to say, and it sparked something in my mind. I was like, she can't put Lena-Colleen on there. That's my pen name. I need to get my money.
Right.
So I told her what my name was, but at that time, a friend of mine, the girl that works for that owns Hologram Productions, she said to me, I like Lena-Colleen. Why don't you just combine the two? So I was like, okay. So everybody in the industry calls me Lena, and Colleen is the name that was given to me, and my grandmother named me that. So I just combined the two. So my name really is Colleen.
Yeah, I like that. That's real
Yeah,
catchy.
I do. I like it. It's just it has a ring to it.
A ring to it, right? When
Yeah,
she
it has
said
a
it, I was
ring
like,
to
oh
it.
wow,
Yeah,
I like that. Yeah. So
yeah,
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 it just kind of morphed into that.
yeah. I'm a
Okay.
person that looks at names and they fascinate me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Miss Lena Colleen, I
Yes.
want you to look into the camera and tell everyone about Filmmakers Lab extensively. Like, do the kids, let me ask you this, do the people that come to your podcast have to pay for the information that they are receiving? Is it like a webinar or anything? Okay. So,
No,
this is,
free.
you have the stage to talk about Filmmakers Lab.
Okay, so Filmmakers Lab is the company that Filmmakers Lab Live comes from. Filmmakers Lab is a writing company. So, what I do with Filmmakers Lab is I assist individuals, and I also assist companies in bringing their film scripts to life.
Hmm.
So, I'm more on the writing side. That's what I do. I help them bring their stuff from the page, make it engaging, make it marketable. So that's what I do. I offer what we call script coverage. That's where I
Mhm.
actually read through the script and just, pick it apart see what needs to stay, what needs to go, using all the techniques that I've learned as a filmmaker and a writer, and to help them make their script more marketable, make it more engaging. That's one aspect of Filmmakers Lab. I also I'm also a transcriptionist by trade. I learned that in the military. So I also do transcription. So if someone needs their podcast transcribed, because AI is not always accurate. Sometimes you need a real human being to listen and type. So I also do transcription. That's something else I do, and I do that on a case by case basis because it is so time consuming. But I do that as well. And yeah, really, Filmmakers Lab is a writing company. It's not a production company, but I assist people in their writing. When they're trying to put their scripts together, and if they're suffering from writer's block or anything of that sort. That's what I do. I help companies and I help individuals as well.
So when you're
So
on the screen, like podcasts, kind of give us an example of what we would be watching if we were to see that.
So the first season that I had was just myself. I didn't have a co-host, and it was myself and whatever guest I invited on the show. I've had a composer on the show, and I'm asking him specific questions that would help someone that wants to compose for film. And we're talking about film. This is feature film.
Right.
Feature film being what you see in the movie theater. Films that you might see on Netflix that are at least 90 minutes long. That's what we're talking about. Now, if someone needs help with a film short, I can help them with that as well. That's 45 minutes or less. But we're talking feature films. I would be asking this person specific questions. I do my research on that person. I give them their exposure as well. But I'm asking them specific questions about composing, what a person would need to get into that. What are some of the aspects of techniques that they need to know. I'm being very specific and intentional with the questions that I ask. With an actor, for instance, how did you get into the industry? What kind of acting methods do you study? What is the pay like? Where do you stand? Where did you stand on the strike? Do you feel, what do you feel about streaming? Um, Things like that, things that someone who wants to get into the industry, things that they should know. If I had a
Right.
producer on, I would ask him, how do you get the money? Where do you get the money from? What companies do you work with? What are the best companies to work with? Things like that. I had a writer on, I had several writers on, and I'm asking them specific questions
Right.
that a writer should know. Techniques. How do you structure your film? Do you start with an outline? Um, do you do a treatment? Do you um, do you believe in character development, which is very important? I also I also write books. I have several filmmaking books that I write as well because I'm big on research. I love research, and I love teaching. So I also write books. I have several books on Amazon that people can read that will help them with their scripts. So really, for me, individually, it's about the writing portion of it. The podcast is more of the whole grand scheme of what is needed to know, different aspects on film. Like I even had a lighting guy on, how did you even become a lighting person? You know, do you have to go to school? These are things that people need to know. And sometimes those type of jobs are ones that allow you to get on the set so that you can do other things.
That sounds like a wealth of information, Filmmakers Lab, and I'm sure it is very needed out in our community. I want to
It is.
thank you, Colleen,
Thank
Lena-Colleen,
you for
for
having
coming.
me.
Yes, and I want to say that I don't even know how many Black female uh, filmmakers or screenwriters or script writers or whatever the proper verbiage is that there is out there. But I commend you highly for stepping your foot into that arena. And I do wish you the most success in your endeavors with that. I'm proud of you. I'm just meeting you. I'm glad to have met you. And I'm very proud of what you are doing to educate other people that might be interested. You are paying your knowledge forward to the community and other communities. So I really do appreciate you doing that. And I wish
Thank you for having me.
with that. Yes. So once again, tell them where they can find you on YouTube, and then we'll go ahead and do the closing comments.
You can find me anywhere really under Filmmakers Lab. I'm even on TikTok, Filmmakers Lab. Wait a minute. Oh, Filmmakers Lab _podcast. And then everywhere else is Filmmakers Lab. I have several different pages, but you can find me under Filmmakers Lab. And then on Facebook, you can find me under Colleen Brown Franklin.
Okay, everybody, you can find her on Facebook under Colleen Brown Franklin, everywhere else under Filmmakers Lab. And we'll be tuning in to see what Lena-Colleen has going on in the filmmakers industry. We really do appreciate it. So we will close it out now. We will say that we thank everyone for tuning in today to Gab with Goldn Bronze. As you know, Gab with Goldn Bronze is a sponsor of Golden Swan Cadre, which is a 501c3 nonprofit domestic organization that advocates against domestic violence towards women. We're cognizant that is prevalent towards men as well, but the statistical data shows that it afflicts women more. And some of us are survivors and thrivers of domestic violence. So we advocate against it. And we do a lot of different programs to do that. We have mentoring, we have webinars, seminars, broadcasts such as this podcast, and we volunteer in the communities that we live in and serve. If you would like to donate to us, you can explore our page on Facebook, Golden Swan Cadre. We're on Instagram, the official _ Golden Swan Cadre, Facebook, Goldn Bronze, and Instagram, Mickey's Life at the Fullest is also on Instagram. We had a website, www.goldenswancadre.com. You can donate on any one of those pages that I just mentioned by clicking the charity, going to the charity section. We have partnered with Facebook and Instagram. We are on their charities, certified charities donation list. We'll take anything from $1 on up. And you say, why $1? That's pretty cheap. Well, every dollar adds up. $1 adds up to 5 to 10 to 100 and more. So just think, if we get 1,000 people to give us $1, that's $1,000 more than we had yesterday. So we will not turn down anything that you feel like you would like to donate to us. Just dig deep in your heart, please, and donate to Golden Swan Cadre. Now, we are also on Village Global Network Radio. We have expanded there as well. We used to be there every other week, and now we are weekly on Saturdays on Village Global Network, globally in 191 countries. So tune in to Village Global Network Radio this Saturday and every Saturday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Central, and 11 a.m. Central, and 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. We welcome you to listen to us on radio and TV, and come back tomorrow. We will have another exciting guest or topic tomorrow. We appreciate you. Thank you, and love you more. Goodbye.